Yo, it's Mel, Palace Finest Bullies. Now, this video was requested a long time ago from a couple of kennels, and from newer kennels, newer than me. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about like only one dog. You know what I'm saying? And that's no shot. I started off one dog. Y'all seen me go from the trenches with Kira. You know what I'm saying? Kira moved with me 4 different houses. You know what I'm saying? So that's my damn dog. But a lot of people ask me what's my thought process on breedings and how I design the breedings. Now and who I might take to Kira. You know, I'm gonna use Kira for instance. I'm gonna use how I breed her since right now she's the only one that's breeding right now and who people know the palace for right now. So Kira, what I do is when I look at a pedigree for Kira, we already know Kira's inbred. She's brother and sister. So when I breed Kira, I try to take her far away from the Denzel blood. Because she's 2 times Denzel from Gargoyles. Now the thing is with her, I try to take her far away from the blood. And when I mean far away from the blood, from Denzel's side, you know, Denzel's an amazing dog. That's one of my top 5 for pocket wise. But when you inbreed or line breed too hard on Denzel, you possibly come up with a flaw. You know what I'm saying? So I try to stick away from it and going too far with her. Now, what I do is when I look at Kira, okay, when you look at Kira's pedigree, if anybody who's seen Kira's pedigree, matter of fact, I'm actually editing up a YouTube video right now as we speak. I don't know if it's gonna allow me to do it because Bullypedia has been tripping lately. So when you look at Kira's pedigree, you got yeah, it's tripping. Yeah, so when you look at Kira's pedigree, you got 2 times Denzel, brother and sister breeding. Kira's mother, 17, 18 inches, 90 pounds. Kira's mama is actually bigger than Kira's daddy. Kira's daddy is like 65, 70 pounds, right? Kira's mama is a 90-pound girl. So I look at that. Then I look at her grandmother, who's probably like 60, something like that, 70 pounds. I haven't seen both of them. I haven't seen her parents in person, but I've seen pictures and I seen people that been and seen them. They told me to wait. So when I look at Kira's grandmother, just to come to find out, she's on the shorter end, but all her siblings are practically XL because her parents are. Their parents are. So Kira's great grandmother and grandfather XL. But the blood behind them is Paco, Gaff, you know what I'm saying? So you look at those dogs, when you look at Kira's whole gene pool, you have a frame from 15 inches to 22. So 22 inches. So you got dogs from 15 to 22 inches. So Kira can produce pocket standard, right? So far what I'm seeing, Kira of both breeding off the one breeder so far, fully grown, Kira's only produced 1 pocket. And that's because we took it to a pocket boy. That was Fats. Now Fats pedigree is practically the same thing. Fats pedigree can go tall to big. You know what I'm saying? Because it's great. I believe Mike Tyson. How tall was he? You've seen him in person.
Who?
Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
How tall? He was pocket stand, XL.
No, he wasn't no pocket stand. He was a big dog.
He was like XL, right?
Yeah, he was big.
Yeah. I'm sorry, y'all. So Hurricane, you know what I'm saying? Ty like big dogs, you know what I'm saying? So practically, I'm gonna say XL. Hollywood was a big ass boy, you know, from the videos, and I know what I'm talking about, y'all. So I was just asking. I just want to make it confirm. You see, one thing about Mel is before he go on camera, unlike these other motherfuckers, all these other YouTubers, I confirm my shit. I know what I'm talking about. And if I don't know what I'm talking about, I don't speak about it at all. So you won't hear me say, you won't hear me talk. I'm gonna use Shamrock. You won't hear me talk about Shamrock. I don't know nothing about that goddamn dog. I just know he a Dak son. But back to it, you know, Hollywood from Mike Tyson, all XL, big dogs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Ty just kept him underweight because he wasn't athletic.
And the breeder Ty, he kept him underweight, Herdman, because he wanted him athletic. The only big dog from short dogs that he had came from Nero's side. And if y'all know Nero came from Stick with it kennels, Stick with it peanut, which goes back to, and this is the thing that made their kennel, was Chief from Blue Pride. So obviously I know Chief is a big boy. So anything he breeds with, he pushes his weight. And that weight, even though Nero being a great grandson, it pushed on to him. And it pushed on to my puppies because the blood was that strong. So when you go down from Logic's side, Logic was a small girl. She was heavy, she was small, and she was heavy. So taking her to Nero being from Chief from Oscar's beginning stuff that was heavy. If you look at a lot of Oscar's stuff, Blue Pride stuff is very muscular. It comes from his 3 foundational males. And that's why his look has been so consistent. That's another video we could talk about. But so when he did the breeding to make Fats was a 15-inch boy. And I believe, and I'm gonna be honest, Fats was overweight. You know what I'm saying? He could have been a lot more lighter than what he was. You know what I'm saying? He was built to be athletic, and I feel like his owner put way too much weight on him. You know what I'm saying? I seen Fats in person. He was a very impressive dog, and when I seen him in person, I was like, this breeding is gonna work. And I knew from the breeding that we was gonna get pockets to standards. And if y'all go back into the video, y'all might have seen me say pocket breeding, pocket legend. No, I didn't say pocket. I didn't say pocket breeding. I said a lot of super pockets. Pockets is gonna come out from that breeding. But in the back of my mind, it was always that we could get an 18-inch dog from this breeding. You know what I'm saying? We could get an 18-inch dog. And I was right. We got a pocket. We got Jacks. I regret doing that deal. There's a lot of things so far being in this bully world. So far, I regret. You know what I mean? But back to it. Then we do Cure the Taz. Cure the Taz was supposed to be recreating Remy. And when I mean not exactly a recreation part, like we was gonna get the same aggression, we was gonna get that same look, we was gonna get that same height, you know, just that same thing like Remy. We got something similar, and I'm very impressed with that breed. But the thing with Taz was, Taz's mom, big girl. I believe Taz's mom was 17, and I believe Taz's dad was 16, I believe. So Taz has a mixture of pocket to standard, and then we go to Juan Gotti. Juan Gotti was XL. So you have a mixture of the same thing like Kira. So with that breeding, I knew that from that breeding for both dogs, even though Denzel and Taz's daddy, which would be the puppy's granddaddy, there's a chance of getting pocket, but I knew the big blood would overrise. It would overpower the little genetics. So in that breeding, I was looking for 18-inch, 17-inch dogs, 90 pounds, 80 pounds, the smallest 75. But what I was looking for out the breeding was almost like a Remy. You know, 90-pound boy, 95-pound boy, big, athletic, big old head. And that's practically what we got. Southwest T is almost similar to Remy. I have to get more pictures and videos of him. But Southwest T is really, he's everything I wanted in that breeding. You know what I'm saying? And he's red just like Remy. He's a little more redder than Remy, but he's everything that I wanted in that breeding. Now, I don't want to disclose the Kira's last 3 studs, but one of them, I'm gonna use one of them because it's going to trickle down pretty soon who we're gonna be taking it to. But one of the studs, he's 20 inches, but his blood is set up the same way like Fats. You know what I'm saying? So he has a chance to produce his breeding was the person that did his breeding, they repeated that breeding 3 times. And out of 3 breedings, that breeding only produced 2 pockets. The rest was standard. He was the only XL that came out that breeding. So in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, if I do it with Kira, who's a more tighter bred dog, it's going to lock in the middle. It's going to lock in standard, maybe pocket. You know what I'm saying? I don't see that breeding producing. It might because of Kira's grandmother, her great-grandmother. No, yeah, her great-grandmother. Might produce 1 XL, and it's a big question mark for that one from the XL aspect from it, because he's not an XL. You know what I'm saying? He's not. They probably thought he was going to be standard, but that's just a little of where my mind thinks when it comes to these breeders, where I try to match the pedigrees up, and when I try to match the pedigrees up, I know the bloods. So you know Gotti line, a lot of Gotti line dogs, they are XLs. You know a lot of Remy dogs. See, the very thing about Remy blood is Remy was able to produce. Remy could produce pocket, standard, classic, you name it. You know what I'm saying? Oscar blood from Stick with the Kennels, and the reason why I say Oscar blood because they Chief played a major part in that dog Peanut. You know what I'm saying? When you look at Oscar dogs, he produced 1 pocket. He produced a pocket. Pumbaa. Look what Pumbaa do. Pumbaa makes Mufasa XL boy. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta look at these bloods, man, and really understand them. Because if you don't understand them, you're not going to get the results. You know what I'm saying? That you will want. And when you plan a breeding, you should already know these things. You know what I'm saying? In my mind, when I look at a breeding or when I look at Kira, I try to narrow down what we're going to get. And then I know a lot right now. A lot of people like these big dogs, and I like big dogs. I like 17, 18-inch dogs. Pocket side of like 16. The shortest I would go is 15 inches. But my yard, you're probably going to see a lot of 17, 18-inch dogs, 100-pound dogs. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you're going to get. And when I look at it, I try to plan these things out. You know what I'm saying? And then I know, and if I want to really force my hand with the breeding, I would try to take her to a smaller dog, a smaller breed. And I think one of the breeders, we all going to take her to something small. And we're going to, matter of fact, a lot of Paco blood. So probably taking, okay, I'm going to use this one boy. I plan on you. I'm not going to say his name, but he's a Paco grandson or Paco son, right? It's off of Frozen Scene. And I know he was a small boy, and I know all his productions were small. So now, knowing that Q is inbred Denzel, who comes from Gargoyles, which is Gargoyles is a Paco's son, that can possibly bring her down. And on her grandmother's side, Paco's in her pedigree. Paco is in the pedigree more than once. So when you're probably taking that boy to Kira, that Paco boy to Kira, it'd bring her down. You know what I'm saying? So it's just how I look at it. So a lot of people do breedings or plan breeders somewhere. Some people plan breeders for color. Some people plan breeders for just that one dog in the pedigree. Some people plan breeders to build their blood. You know what I'm saying? Me, I plan the breeders on what I like and the dogs that I like and what I'm trying to recreate. Right now, I would say I'm on a recreating journey. And what I mean a recreating journey is I'm gonna recreate the dogs I like to put in my blood. You know what I'm saying? So I like Remy. Southwest T look like Remy. So that boy is gonna be used a lot. You know what I'm saying? I like Cream from Machiavelli Kennels. Well, he was produced by Machiavelli Kennels, but Devil's Den owned him. You know what I'm saying? So I like dogs like Cream. You know what I'm saying? But I like dogs and right now I'm putting dogs that's calm, but also hot at the same time. I like dogs that's going to be able to work. So if the dogs don't have no type of hot dog that like to work or have some type of aggression, I won't use it. You know what I'm saying? So like Remy, you'll see me use a lot of Remy blood. You're going to see me use a lot of Blue Pride blood. You're gonna see me use a lot of Gotti line blood, but you gotta be. You see, that's another video, but you gotta be careful when you using Gotti line blood. That's a long story, right? Then itself, you know. But that right there, that's practically it for this video. This video can be a part 1, a part 2. I might just make this a part 1 because it's a lot more that I could go in depth about. You know what I'm saying? But I'm trying to get some content out there for y'all because it's a lot that's on my mind that I need to let go. And like I said, if y'all want a part 2 to this video on my thoughts on how to do a breeder, leave a comment, put part 2. So spam a part 2. You know what I'm saying? Y'all spam a part 2, I'll make a part 2. And right now, like I said, I'm in the zone right now. I'm in the zone to push out content, put out content for y'all. And I'm gonna put out a lot of knowledge, you know what I'm saying? Because I studied, before I got in this breed, I studied it. I studied it from the back of his hand. And now since we're breeding and I put my hands on an XL, I own an XL now, I own the standard, I own the pocket. And now my girl is producing the dogs that I like. So now it's like I'm gonna put out what I learned, what I heard, and you know what I seen with my own 2 eyes. And right now I'm giving y'all my thought process on how I breed. So if y'all want a part 2, spam a part 2 in the comment section. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. It's Mel from Palace Finest Bullies. I'm out, baby.